So this is another art working with the sound waves of the shofar. It's made by sounding the shofar through software that's mapping out the sound waves and then creatively working with the sound. So we have here at the bottom, we have the first blast of Tekiah, the single sound, like the do. Then we have the Shevarim, the do, the Teruah, do, and then the Tekiah Gedolah at the end. So we've been discussing how the four sounds of the shofar are expressing the four letters of Hashem's name, that those four letters are an expression of the tree of life, which is mapping out our whole process of spiritual development, how God's boundless goodness comes down to where we are now and how we work our way back up to experiencing it. That it relates to the right, left, and center consciousness. It relates to the interface between emunah, believing, and having divine experience. I've been working with, in all of the art, I've been trying to express ideas from the Kabbalah. I just keep going back to the shofar blowing for over 20 years now. Just keep finding so much in the shofar. Feeling like have hardly just even started with it. But something very deep connected to the shofar is that it's the shofar of the Mashiach. So we have a saying of our sages, of Chazal, that says that before the coming of Mashiach, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu the prophet, will blow a shofar, and that sounding of the shofar will herald in the coming of the Mashiach. So we have this saying from our sages. So that could be simply understood as Eliyahu Hanavi coming, appearing in a white robe, holding a big shofar, standing on Har Zion, and physically blowing a shofar, announcing the coming of Mashiach. So we learned that the sages in all of their teachings are expressing, within the simple meaning of the words, very deep spiritual concepts. So a way that the saying of Chazal, of our sages, is explained by Rav Ashlag, the Bala Sulam. It says that Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu the prophet, is a code word in Kabbalah that represents the inner understanding of the Torah, the Kabbalah. Blowing of the shofar represents something becoming known to everybody, becoming known to the masses. So the Baal Sulam explains that when the sages say that Eliyahu Hanavi blowing the shofar heralds in the coming of Mashiach, they're saying to us that when the Kabbalah, the inner understanding of the Torah, this inner spiritual wisdom of consciousness becomes revealed to humanity, it's what heralds in the coming of the Mashiach. We learn in Kabbalah that the Mashiach, on a very deep level, represents the inner transformation of consciousness that we're all going through. If we take the four Hebrew letters that spell Mashiach and we just write them in a different order, it spells Yismach, we will be happy. When we reach the state of unconditional love, the state of giving, the state of divine connection, the state of dveikut, state of oneness with God. So that's the Mashiach. And the Kabbalah is helping us understand that the way we come to that is through our inner spiritual development. So the whole learning of Kabbalah is trying to help us become aware of what we're going through here. that this transformation from desire to receive to desire to give, to being in a state of what everybody else and what God can do for me, to a state of how I can be in a state of giving to everybody else and be in a state of service to God. So we can understand from this that how important it is, the learning of the Kabbalah. That this inner spiritual wisdom coming out in the world, all of this learning about our transformation to reach a state of unconditional love and helping us and give us guidance in doing that is of utmost importance. So it's helping us do it. We have the whole Torah, all of Judaism has a body and has a soul, like everything in the world. The body of the Torah is all of the part of the Torah that's talking about the halachot, the spiritual practices, what we do. The soul of the Torah, the Kabbalah, is talking about our inner spiritual work. All of this inner transformation that the outer spiritual practices of Torah are here to help us to make. For 2,000 years, so most of the Jewish people have been living outside the land of Israel. And this moment right now is this epic moment that was prophesied by our ancient prophets thousands of years ago. This is the epic moment where we are brought back to the land of Israel. So for 2,000 years, we've been as a people mostly outside the land of Israel. This is the moment that we return to the land of Israel. For somebody who's Jewish, outside the land of Israel is the body aspect, and inside the land of Israel is the soul aspect. So for the past 2,000 years, we've been mostly, as a people, dealing with the body aspect of the Torah. We've had the Kabbalah from the beginning of time, but it was mostly the spiritual masters have had deeper understanding of the Kabbalah. But now, in this epic moment where we'll return to the land of Israel, whereas a people we're going from the paradigm of body to the paradigm of soul. So we learned that now there's a shift into what aspect of Torah is coming out in the world in its essence. So while for 2,000 years the main aspect of Torah that we've been working with as a people has been the body of Torah, this moment that we return to the land of Israel is the moment of the soul of the Torah to come out. This is the moment that all of the deep inner teachings of consciousness, of this transformation from desire to receive to desire to give, is brought out in this very simple, clear language that we're talking about now. Right? Although we've had all of this spiritual wisdom for so long, the level of clarity that's been brought to us right now in ways that we can learn about it in very deep ways, but in a very clear language that we can actually understand and work with it and develop with it is simply revolutionary. So it's a precious moment, a very precious moment of the nation of Israel being brought into the land of Israel, returning, and the inner spiritual depths of Torah, the Kabbalah, coming out in the world in a way they never have before. And the more that we merit to deepen our understanding, and exposure, and learn and work with this inner spiritual wisdom, so it's helping bring out the light of Mashiach and Gedolah and all the goodness in the world.